Hi, welcome to another video by Archangel Raphael. My name's Jabeen and I'm a channel of Archangel Raphael. So Raphael comes through me and speaks. This particular video is going to be about death, reincarnation and the afterlife. So people have messaged me questions about this subject. So I'm going to read out the question and then get Raphael to come in and answer them. So yeah, I'll just make a start. So yeah, I'm just going to be reading the questions off my phone. So the first one is, what happens to the soul when a human being dies? I would like you to know that when a human being dies, it is about the soul, in one way or another, ending up in the right place, according to the consciousness of the person. So what I will say is that if the soul is fully enlightened and bathing in the light of oneness internally, then this is where the soul will end up. It will end up in this realm with other beings who are also in this place, where there is a lot of peace and harmony, oneness, and in one way or another, a sense of fulfillment that everything is in the light. What happens in this realm is that there are assigned purposes to each and every being to fulfill, which can be to serve, simply to serve, or it can also be to help family members, to help clear up karma for others, or even the being who has passed. Because when you are in an enlightened place, it is still possible to have karma to resolve, but you are able to do it fast because you are in a state of enlightenment. You are able to do what is necessary to bring balance and harmony. That is what I see. I would like you to also know that when a soul is going to another realm, it is like this, that the soul needs to really be in that place inside. So when a soul passes, according to the state the soul is in, it will go to the appropriate place. But after this, it is able to ascend. So if that soul died in a lot of distress, it will be healed, and then it will go to the right place, according to the consciousness of the being. That is all. Okay, so next question. Is there a concept of heaven and hell in reality? What I will say is that heaven and hell do exist in one's state of awareness. So what I mean by this is that according to what you believe inside, these things do exist. So if you are the sort of person who feels extremely guilty about something or a few things, and you believe hell exists, then when you do pass away, you go to a place that looks like hell, but it is not really existing, only in your mind. But what I will say about the astral realm, which is where you will go if you have a lot of fear about these kind of things, is that it is able to rearrange itself according to what you believe. So you may end up in a place like this, but most people quickly are then healed by family members, by friends, angels as well on the other side, and then they end up in the right place. So for most people, it is just a temporary experience. For perhaps a small number, they may stay there for a while if they are not open to the light, but most people will simply pass through. That is what I see. And what are the main realms a soul can go to? What I see is that a soul is able to go to many different realms, but the main realm a soul will go to is one that is of the light, but the level of light is dependent on the soul itself, how much light the soul attunes to. So particular souls will end up in a realm of enlightenment where there is only light, nothing to resolve, and if there is anything, it is quickly resolved. And other souls will end up in varying degrees of light. For example, there is a realm where there is a lot of learning that goes on. A lot of people end up there, where they are amongst family members and friends, and they are learning. They are attending courses on various subjects, learning more about whatever they are interested in. It is a place where there is a lot of activity, but it is not a place where people are fully enlightened. But people are aware of light and love, and they see the fullness of who they are in spirit, but they are not able to in any way fully be it on all levels when they are in physical incarnation, because they are still learning. What I will say about this realm is that it is a realm where a lot of people go to learn more about the spirit, about oneness and the nature of being in it. But after this, there are many other realms, varying degrees of enlightenment, until one is completely in touch with the light within on all levels. That is all. Okay. And how to soothe those who fear death with the non-finality of it? Is there a way to prove it? What I will say is that there is no way of proving that there is an afterlife, but there is one thing that can be done to show people that death is not final, and that is to show them that when people have left, that there is evidence that they do exist on the other side. And the way to do this is by contacting them, going to people who can make contact and give them firm evidence that their loved ones still exist. But that is the only way. It is giving people evidence, but there is nothing that can really prove it. When you are on this side, it is more about attuning to what is true, and then you will feel it on the inside. That is all. And how to reliably connect with the loved ones who have passed. Does one need to have special skills or talents? What I will say in answer to this is that it is absolutely true that you can contact loved ones. However, to do it accurately and reliably, it is good to go to an expert, because what happens on the other side is that there are many different beings who exist, and some of them may pretend to be who they are not. When you go to someone who is an expert, they are able to really navigate the realms well. They are able to spot imposters. And one way to know if someone is an imposter is by asking them 3 times who they are. When you are in spirit, in the spirit realm, you are not able to lie 3 times, because it fractures the spirit. It fractures the spirit who is speaking. It is good for you to know this. Okay, and so why is the grieving process so complicated, even for those who are aware their loved ones are still out there? I believe the answer to this is quite simple. It is because where there is a loss on the earth, there is something that is literally not there anymore in physical reality, and it takes a while to get over this. That is what I see. there is a certain natural feeling that occurs when something is no longer there, someone or a situation, and the physical beings who are left have to readjust, and it does take time, and it takes time for the part that the soul played who left to be filled by others. That is all. What's the most spiritually aligned way to dispose of a body? The answer to this is quite simple, and that is to consider it simply the leftover part of someone that is no longer needed, that does not contain anything in it. It is simply matter. So the answer to this is to consider it as such, and to let go of it and know that it will be transformed by the earth itself. So I will say that anything that works with the elements, whether it is fire, whether it is the earth itself, whether it is another way, but what I will say is that it is all about knowing that the spirit has left, that it is simply matter that can be taken care of by the elements of the earth. That is all. Is reincarnation real, and why is it not acknowledged in most major religions? What I will say is reincarnation is real, but what is going on is there is a lot of misinformation, and the reason behind this is that if people really knew that people came back, what would happen is that there would be a greater awareness of the life you are living and what it really means in the scheme of things. What I will say is that reincarnation really does exist, but there is a lot of misinformation in order to confuse people, to give them the impression that this is the only life, and therefore people are more prone to doing things which are not quite right to get what they want, because they are not aware that there is a bigger picture behind things, that what they do in this life will in one way or another come back to them in another. Also, it is good for you to know that because reincarnation is real, it is a way of really seeing how much you are living in this moment in terms of what you are experiencing. Because of the reincarnation, you are able to really experience more of life as it is in the moment by really being open to what happens and having the appreciation that it is the result of many lifetimes, not just this life. And in this way, you can have a greater awareness of what things really mean in the scheme of things. I hope this makes sense. It does help you to have a different perspective about life, a higher perspective, more openness to really look at wounding inside and clear it from deeper places in you, which helps you to live more in the moment, ultimately. That is all. Okay, what determines the length of time before a soul can incarnate again? I will say the answer to this is to do with the karma of the soul. Some souls do not have any karma, so they can be in spirit for as long as they like, but they will come back unless they have fully mastered being in the spirit in each and every moment, which is different to being enlightened. Other souls have to come back fast because they have work to do. it is all about karma, and some souls can take their time because they have work to do, but it can be done anytime. That is all. How much karma can one clear from the other side, and why does one have to incarnate to clear karma? The answer to this is all about the nature of karma. So for some people, the nature is very much connected to their lineage, family lineage, and in this way, a lot of it can be cleared from the other side because they can work with other family members to do this. Family members they have karma with. If the nature of karma is more to do with patterns the person has, they do need to reincarnate to clear it. They do have to do it in physical reality because those particular themes can not necessarily be placed upon other individuals who are incarnate. So in order to clear karma, it has to be done with some physical contact with the earth through someone. So if you have a lot of themes, you can clear them when you next come back. But if it is karma with individual souls, with family members or friends, you can help them from the other side and clear things that way. At what point does one stop needing to incarnate on earth? What I will say is that it is very complicated for us to explain, but it is when one has fully mastered being in the spirit in each and every moment. But it takes a very long time. It is not the same as being enlightened. When you are enlightened, it is accessing a state of oneness. But when you are perfecting the spirit, it is about perfecting your ability of staying in the spirit in each and every moment. And this does take a long time. So what I will say is that for most people, it won't happen for quite a while. That is all. Yes, I'd just like to say thank you for listening to this video and hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to hear more videos by Archangel Raphael, please consider subscribing. And and if you want to support this channel, in the description below, there's a link where you can donate if you wanted to. Thank you for listening.